Alright, hello there guys, this is Alan with our green-black mid-range deck that we managed to draft on Magic the Gathering Arena. So let me just kind of describe it. This is kind of how our curve is looking like. Paladin's a play on 2. I mean, I guess Scarambrick Carver's a 4-drop and a pump spell. Yeah, these are kind of like our interaction spells. We have like a couple of 1-drops here, Edgewall Innkeeper being the standout uncommon that helps draw cards whenever we play these adventure creatures. 3s are definitely empty, so we don't have a lot of good 3-drops, but we do have some 2-drops to block in the early game, and these 2-drops have 3 toughness since they go well with the Wicked Guardian that can trigger and draws a bunch of cards. Were you playing Garenbrig Paladin, Carver, and the Insatiable Appetite just to have some pump tricks? Since our removal is pretty bad and pretty light, we're actually playing Festive Funeral in this deck, believe it or not, because we're kind of low. We have Festive Funeral, Outmuscle, Reef Soul, and then do 2 of these pump tricks to kind of push us through. And they've been okay for a while, to be honest, so I'm not going to complain. Plenty of Curve Toppers, Keeper to Fables at 5, Toonville as a turn 4 play, and Reaper as a turn 4 play. That can potentially become a 6 and 7. Beanstalker can be played as a 7-drop as well. The Giant Opportunity makes us a bunch of food for Trail of Crumbs, and sometimes it occasionally makes us a 7-7, since this deck might go like turn 1 Gingerbrute, turn 2 Kiri's Pair, and then we can make a 7-7, which can be a pretty decent attacker and blocker. The reason why we're not playing doubles Gingerbrute because at the end of the day, a 1/1 creature isn't a good blocker or an attacker. It can grant evasion, and you can equip with a skewer, so to speak, but I don't think that's enough. I think that's a lot of mana to get this going, just to start pushing in for 3 damage of evasion. We're keeping 1 since it helps with the Keeper to Fables to trigger it, and also it's a food to sacrifice. We aren't playing the 3rd Wicked Guardian because we don't have too many 3 toughness creatures at turn 2 or turn 3. Just double Kiri's Pair and Tempting Witch. We want to kind of lower the variance in a sense, since if we have too many of these and not enough 3 toughness creatures, this isn't going to trigger too often. It can be fine with the late game 4-drops and the 5-drops, of course, but that's only if you get there. Usually you just want to curve out in a limited game where you can go turn 2, turn 3, and then turn 4 Wicked Guardian. And I would even prefer the pump spell, believe it or not, from the Garenbrig Carver. And the Insatiable Appetite, since we're kind of lacking removal. It's also an adventure creature that goes along with Edgewall Innkeeper as well. So this is kind of like how our deck works. Definitely prefer the Swordsmaster over Squire since it has lifelink and it's also an adventure for Edgewall Innkeeper. We are slightly favoring green, more than 8, so we're going 10-8. And for the most part, this deck has been performing pretty okay. Did run into a game against a player with Oko, which we kind of got screwed, and then there was a mono green deck with 8/8 Garenbrig Paladin and Outmuscles that we couldn't really compete against. So yeah, currently 5-2. Let's see if this deck gets there. But overall, I think this draft went pretty decent. Alright, we do have Kiri's Pair on 1 that we can play on 2, and then Beanstalker John can help us ramp, and Reaper can maybe make them discard 2. It's not the most amazing hand. I would love an Edgewall Innkeeper as a top deck, but I don't think I can bottom this, since it just has a curve going, and I don't really want to go down a card. And it's a little bit risky taking a mulligan with a playable hand, so I guess we're going to start with Kiri's Pair. I probably won't even play out the Kiri's Pair, to be honest, since I want to get a trigger activation off Edgewall. And, you know, I mean, I guess if he plays a 2-drop, I might consider playing this as a blocker, but for now, I don't think I want to play this. So now we have Beanstalker Giant on 3, Reaper on 4. It's better to use Reaper when he has less cards in hand to get the best cards off his hand, but it's still fine. It's still decent 2-for-1 at the end of the day. And Improbable Alliance, okay. So we don't have we currently don't have any enchantment-based removal, no return to nature, so we're gonna have to win the game by just smashing through. Here we can Beanstalk Giant. Maybe just get another swamp, perhaps. Yeah, why not? I don't think it matters at this point. And if the opponent's just dumping his hand, we can just Reaper and just get the 2 out of 4 cards from his hand. Saving these cards for the Edgewall Innkeeper so we can draw them. And a Curious Pair is just not going to do too much on this battlefield at the end of the day. One is splashing for Improbable Alliance. He could be maybe missing the red mana in this deck. That's interesting just to get a card draw and to trigger. Alright, I guess I just Reaper them now in return. Doing all that just to bounce a food token, I'll take that. It's not the worst case scenario. Opponent discards 2 lands. So just taking 1 per turn. This Improbable Alliance won't be able to activate unless he has red mana. So it is kind of sketchy. Also this 2-drop, I don't care. Guess he just did all that just to make a 1/1 token. Sure. Right, giant opportunity to make a million food. Well, we have Keeper going, so try dealing with this opponent. Opponent does have a weird deck. I don't understand this attack. Doesn't make any sense. But I'll take it. Could have like a Charm Sleep, but opponent is playing weird janky green blue deck, splashing Improbable Alliance, which he can't even activate. So I guess we get in. Could have a counter spell here. So which one do I prefer to get countered? Maybe the Beanstalk Giant, since the Reaper can at least fly over. But I think I'm going to attack first. I'm fine with the chumps. He's eventually going to run out of creatures, and I can just play a bunch of big creatures and smash through. So this seems like an easy victory. Unless I'm not mistaken, if he picks up something like Oko, I should be in trouble. Like if he top decks Oko, which his deck might have, since he's just kind of, I think he just might be just forcing blue-green for Oko, even with a mediocre lackluster deck. In that case, do I want to play Reaper first? If I do, he's just going to turn this into a 3/3 Elk at the end of the day, and I still won't be able to connect. So yeah, let's just play Beanstalker. If it gets countered, it's not the end of the world. I'd have Reaper to start flying over. So no Oko, please. Because the only way I can see him winning this is Oko. Okay, and now he's just going to make a 7/7 Giant, which I don't care too much about. This is going to become an 8/8 Giant. I might just even keep the Giant back, to be honest, just to block his 7/7. Since you have a chump blocker being the quarter monitor already, I'm fine playing this Reaper out. I might just, yeah, I think I'm just going to keep the Beanstalker Giant back. I don't see any reason to attack. He's just going to chump block. And I can still double block the 7/7 if he tries something here. And I can once and future it back as well. Opponent should not be playing out cards since his Reaper will start flying over. Unless he has like something, I guess he has an out muscle for Adamant here since he's hovering over my Beanstalker Giant. Okay. Right, guess I'll be taking 8 here, and then I can next turn maybe once and future it back. I could just play the Curious Pair as a chump blocker, but there's really no good reasons to block this. Wicked Guardian, I could do a double block. I don't hate it. Like, I could once in future for Adamant, but I think I want to get more value. So I think the play here is just Wicked Guardian. Yeah, deal 2 to the keeper. It's not gonna die. Ooh, insatiable appetite. But I don't have any food to sack, so I guess I chump block with the Curious Pair. Lose out value with the Reaper, but I think I'm fine just attacking with both. I mean, I guess I could keep the Keeper back, but it's not gonna. And then I can maybe double block the 8/8. Nah, let's send both. Let's chump block with the Curious Pair. I think this is fine. Alright, definitely chump blocking here to Curious Pair. If he finds a removal spell, I'm probably blocking with the 4/2. Rose Thorn, sure, that doesn't have trample. Guess he can start clocking me the air. That's not actually bad at all, but I'm definitely blocking with the 1/3 here. I should be ahead in the race either way if he's dealing 3 damage to me. I could just Appetite here, in fact, and double block. That's actually not a bad idea, so I think I'm going to do that. I do lose both creatures, but these aren't going to get through anytime soon. And who do I want to save? Yeah, Wicked Guardian is the card I want to save, sure. Still 2 for 1, a 3 for 1, so to speak. Yeah, I don't really see myself losing this game. The opponent's just going to take forever to scry, so what? So be it. I think it's just game over at this point. I can still sacrifice food, end of turn, and start gaining life. Sure, I don't care about that. Could once in future, end of turn, just to make even more food. Because I'm not dying to 3 damage here, so... Ooh, I guess I just auto-passed, so that's not good, but at least now I can play out the Wicked Guardian, figure off the Reaper, get an attack. This is 8 damage. I'm fine with the chump blocks, don't care. He's not going to kill me anytime soon with all this food going. Guess we just make a food, and I guess we just say go. So I'm going to make sure I don't auto-pass so I don't end up accidentally dying here. I should have enough food to stabilize and gain 1,000,000 life, so... And I can even once in future back the Giant Opportunity and the Beanstalk Giant if I have to. Right, the Fairy Vandal. Sure. Still don't think that cuts it. Now I can keep activating Probable Alliance now, I guess. Yeah, do I once in future here? Maybe I do. Yeah, I can save it for another turn. Let's just sack food. Maybe I do it twice. I might miss on value from the the Trail of Crumbs, but now this is looking fine. I think I still go for an attack here. And I can leave up the Festive Funeral if he wants to try something. If he wants to do a double block against his Reaper, for example. Let's just Festive Funeral this Fairy Vandal now. It's really just annoying. Opponent can make a chump blocker every turn, but eventually he's going to run out of steam. And the Ginger Brute that can start getting in with the Keeper. So I could once in future, and what would I bring back? Maybe just a Beanstalker Giant again. Maybe even make more food, Wicked Guardian, I don't know. We'll see. He finally found his red splash for the Improbable Alliance, but he's almost out of steam for the most part. I could just once in future back the Insatiable Appetite, sacrifice food, and just kill the opponent from there. Well, the opponent's tapped out, so I can't fly over. A good double jump, but if I once in future the Insatiable Appetite, that's 5 damage if a 1/1 goes unblocked. So it's pretty much game over at this point. Yeah, let's get back the Insatiable Appetite, and I guess a Funeral makes sense here to kind of remove something, so... I don't even need to make the Ginger Brute unblockable, so let's just get him for an attack. He doesn't have any mana up, so it's pretty much game over here. Opponent has a weird deck, but goes to show you that your opponent can be playing weird cards in limited. So, all right, currently 6-2. Let's get this final victory, this final boss. Hopefully, it's an easy victory for us. Let's take a snapshot of our beautiful deck before we move to the final boss. And Giant Opportunity is not even a 3-drop at the end of the day. It's more like Beanstalk Giant. Then I guess like this. Sorry, stupid lag. Let's take a snapshot. And final boss. Hopefully we get there. Let's see if it goes the distance. Let's begin. Alright, not an amazing hand. Just a bunch of lands. We need some playables, so I think this is a mulligan. We're on the draw. We could make a food, but, you know, I don't really want to cast Reef Soul and not have anything to play. And I want to avoid flooding out, so I think this is obviously a mulligan here. This hand is not amazing either. It's pretty bad, but I don't know if I can go down to 5. We have Tree Folk on 4. Curious Pair is going to take a while. Giant Skewer on 2. Do I go down to 5 here? Maybe. Yep, this is better. Obviously going to play the Ginger Brute on 1. Maybe need a Tempting Witch behind a blocker. I do like Tree Folk, but I think it might be too ambitious here. So I think we just go like something like this. But I do need the Forest for the Witch Stalker, so I think it might be something like this. Could just get rid of Ginger Brute, to be honest. It's not going to do much, and our deck isn't playing offense that much. So maybe just something like this. Yeah, we'll try this. An opponent starts out with a Cauldron Familiar. Do I get in with the Ginger Brutes? He's just going to have food to keep getting it back, so I think I stay back. Do I trade? Again, he has food to get back, so probably not. And I can just try to trade damage with the opponent. Okay. Ginger Brew is a good reason to, I think we're just going to say go here. Just trade off with a Jousting Dummy. So I think this is good. And then the Tempting Witch can block off the Cauldron Familiar. But no blocks here, just 1 damage. Opponent is in black-green food, so obviously trading off for the Cauldron Familiar isn't going to do much since he's just going to get back, so. Down a card, so that feels bad, but yeah, I think Tempting Witch is the play here, just make the most mana-efficient play. Maybe save the Adventure for Curious Pair if we top deck Edgewall Innkeeper to kind of help us draw and dig deeper in our deck. Okay, that's an interesting attack. I think the block is like this. He can get back to Cauldron, but that's fine. He could have a Pump Trick here. That's fine too. There's a card for a card, and I still have a Curious Pair to block it next turn. Alright. And a Black Lance Paragon. Okay. To gain some life. And we're still flooding out, even this hand, so. Maybe I just trade off for the Black Lance Paragon. Because he's going to get the Cauldron Familiar back anyways. And he's just going to start attacking with this. He's probably going to leave back the Cauldron Familiar. We might as well trade it off. An Eye Collector? Okay, that's interesting. Alright, so the opponent wants to play defense. So. He's going to start milling their top, but he's going to get milled too. I should have more cards than him, since I mulligan twice. But the Fierce Witch Stalker is a decent blocker. Ooh, now Beanstalker, that's looking great. Next turn I can cast it, so that's not bad. Do I get in? Probably not, since he can just double block it all day. I should have food to stabilize, so this is. So I guess we're just gonna play the value long game. Can't block the flyer. I don't care. Like 1 damage per turn doesn't do much. Okay, it's just a land. Don't mind that. Giant Skewer. That's not bad with the Fierce Witch Stalker. But for now, I think we just play out the Beanstalker. Just put a giant body that can block profitably. And do I attack? If I do, what happens? He's just double blocking the Rose Thorn and the Gambre Carver, so I think this is fine. Just say go. Sir Conrad. Okay, that needs to be dealt with. Otherwise, we're just going to lose the game to it. And every single time a creature gets milled, I lose 2 life. So, yep, Sir Conrad's definitely an issue. Okay, the trail is actually pretty good here, so I think this is better. Could equip and get an attack with a Beanstalk Giant. I don't hate it. But he's just going to chump the Cauldron Familiar at the end of the day, so maybe just dig. And just attack with a Beanstalk. I don't hate it. Yeah, let's dig. Edge wall, that's what I was looking for, so this looks decent. And then we can play out the Skewer. I think I'm fine getting an attack. I don't think I'm going to die soon. And I do need to start clocking the opponent at some point, otherwise I'm not going to win. So. Alright, so he just wants to put everything in front. I don't mind that. Maybe I should have kept it back. I don't know. I'm losing 3 life anyways, but I'm still getting a decent trade. And I have Once in Future, but hopefully he doesn't mill the Once in Future. By the way, I need to start clearing against the opponents, otherwise he's just gonna... I'm not gonna win this. Yeah, Sir Conrad's just gonna freaking kill me here. But I do have life gain again with the foods. Okay, this is fine. I don't mind this. I definitely need to get rid of Conrad here. He probably has a pump trick here. That's bad. Yeah, the Appetite was a pretty bad top deck for him, for us. We're gonna take 2 here. Alright, that's 1. Oh, that's a good game. Yep, alright, we didn't get there. Had to mold a 5, but at least we tried. We just can't beat Sir Conrad when it comes down to the battlefield. And, you know, we didn't have any out muscles or removal, but I'm still fine with this draft overall. Fine 6-3. So, yeah, this is worthy of an upload. So, let's crack the packs. And pack 1, pick 1. Well, that's a pretty strong card.
And many training sessions.
Really cool card. So, yeah, I'm going to upload the Part 1 and Part 2 videos, and stay tuned for more content. Thank you. Have a great day.